Da 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 da. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, welcome back. Glad you made it. It's a so-so production. We're doing it here on the streets. We're on Queen Street, Queen and Spadina to be exact. It is Saturday, September the 16th, 2023. Thank you very much for joining me once again. If it's your first time, buckle up, buckle down. If you've been with me from the get-go, thank you for all the love and support. Where can you find these videos? Every weekend on Instagram, follow me there. Subscribe on YouTube for the full-length videos. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri, and we're here to have some fun. We're on the streets. I'm a little bit cheesed right now. Not gonna lie to you guys. And again, we're gonna be talking at the top of our lungs today, just because we're outside and there's again beautiful people out and about, cars, motorcycles, streetcars, and I'm a little bit cheesed just because I paid for parking right now, but the parking meter didn't print my ticket, so I had to go to another parking meter down the street. Basically, I paid double. Deuces. So I'm holding somebody responsible. Somebody has to pay. I paid $24 basically instead of 12, which is no bueno for this guy. Did it put a dent in my pocket? Maybe. Yes. Times are good. Challenging, but good nonetheless. Did I pay $24 out of pocket? Yes. Do I feel like it's an investment? Yes, absolutely. And that's what you do, baby. You got to diversify your portfolio, and you got to invest in yourself, because nobody else was investing in you. You invest in yourself. And today we're just gonna hang loose. We're gonna have some fun with the beautiful people of this city. Man, oh man, it is. School's back in sesh. The parentals are out and about. The youngins are back in school. You guys are all having fun wherever you are, and we're gonna just hang loose, hang tight. Hopefully we'll get a chance to speak with some beautiful people, and if not, then it'll just be you and me, as per usual. How you doing there, sugar tits? How you doing there, fella, with the nuts hanging low? Not too low, I hope, but like low enough. Hope them nuts have dropped. Hope you're still not battling them like high, adolescent nuts. And like I'm saying, I'm hoping that you're over your adolescent nut stage. I'm hoping that they've dropped to a nice level where you're, I don't know, where you're comfortable with it. And today we're gonna be talking about hairy nuts. Hairy nuts, that's right. Hairy nuts. And we'll see if anybody's willing to engage with us in a profound discussion about hairy nuts. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going full jungle mode, by the way, right now. It's except the facial, but your boy's full out jungle mode. What is jungle mode? I'm glad you asked. Jungle mode is essentially when you're about it, when you're on them streets, when you don't know exactly where you're gonna be staying in the next several months. Jungle mode is essentially when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, whoa, that's me in the mirror. You'll say that, hopefully, because otherwise it'd be creepy if you looked at the mirror and saw somebody else in the mirror. It might be due to substances that you're taking. Maybe it's not due to any substances. In that regard, then you're probably a little bit schizo, which again, shout out to the schizo community. Why not? Here we're all about being inclusive. Fuck yeah. And whatever. So you look at yourself in the mirror and you're like, man, I'm going jungle mode. And jungle mode is essentially when you say, enough shaving, enough trimming, enough, why? Because you don't have time for that shit, son. You have time to go, oh, I'm gonna take the time, and you probably don't have the privacy either. To be like, I'm gonna take an extra 10, 15, 30 minutes to myself and shave these nuts. That's why today, the main focus, the focal point of this video today is we're going against Big Razor. I'm taking a stance, goddamn. I'm taking a stance against Big Razor until hopefully one of the players in the Big Razor industry decides to sponsor your boy, because there's a lot to go around. There's a lot to shave here. A lot to, not overwhelmingly, but it's a fair amount. But right now we're going jungle mode and I'm rocking full bush, dude. I've never had a bush as big as the one that I've got right now. I think it's actually reached max bush. I'm max bush, dude. Call me Max Bush from now on until I find a spot where I can have some privacy. But in the meantime, full bush, and we're gonna make the bush come back, not just for the ladies, because we all know everybody loves the bush on the ladies, but the men's too. What happened to good old hairy nuts? Seriously. There's so many pros and cons to all this game, and we're gonna go through a whole bunch of them today. Hairy nuts, my friends. The benefits of having hairy nuts. Let me ask you this. Do you not enjoy pheromones? Are you some kind of sick anti-pheromones pervert? Are you? Well, if you are, then you don't get it. But if you like pheromones, if you like a little bit of scent to your nuts, scented nuts, essentially, then you're a fan of hairy nuts. So that's one of the benefits. Because otherwise, let's say you're blind and you're searching for nuts and all you're working off is your nose, your sense. You're like, oh, I wish I could find me some nuts, but you're blind, right? And like nuts could be right in front of you, but guess what? Shaved nuts, less of a scent, less pheromones. And you're like, oh man, I wish I could find some nuts. And it's right in front of your nose. There's a nut sack hanging right in front of your nose, but your blind ass can't smell as much because there's not as much to smell, hence the pheromones. So there you go. If you like a little bit of scent on your nut sack, which by the way, I'm not saying I've smelt my own nuts, because like it's very difficult. I don't have that like flexibility, that, you know, I don't have that agility, I don't have that velocity, I don't bend that way, you know what I mean? Your boy don't bend that way. And it's not for a lack of trying either. It's like, this is as far as it goes. That's as far as it goes. So what are you gonna do? But have I smelt my own nuts? I mean, I've definitely like gave it a little tap. I've dabbed and sniffed before and after, just to be like, is there a major diff between hairy nut smell and shaved nut smell? And I gotta be honest with you, no, not really. Like nuts, I guess, do have a smell. Like your entire body does have, like, you gotta get really up close. You gotta go nose to nuts essentially to be able to smell like nuts. But after touching my nuts shaved and then touching my face, not like, I didn't touch my face, but I did bring my hand really close to my nose. And when it was shaved, I didn't really smell anything. You know, whatever, like, sure, there's probably something, and everybody loves their own scent, so it wasn't anything noticeable is all I'm trying to say. So there's always that argument where you should like, oh, I'm gonna shave for cleanliness, I'm gonna shave for hygiene, and that's what Big Razor wants you to believe, man, until Big Razor decides to sponsor your boy. Otherwise, support Big Razor. But until then, we're anti-Big Razor. And yeah, I didn't notice the scent because now I'm rocking full bush. And it's been many years that I've been trimming and shaving and manscaping. Not a significant difference, I gotta tell you. Aesthetically, it looks different. Aesthetically, it looks as if my nuts are more mature. My nuts are probably, you know, more reliable at this point. You look at my nuts right now, you see hair on it, and you're like, man, that pair of nuts can probably apply for a mortgage. Is it gonna be granted? Questionable, debatable, but definitely, you know, as opposed to shaved nuts, because then you don't even know who you're dealing with. It could be somebody that doesn't even have a built-up credit. You don't want that. You want somebody with built-up credit, and if you want built-up credit and you want to just go based on, you know, seeing nuts and deciding who's got built credit, someone with hairy nuts probably has better credit, or at least more longevity in the credit game. Of course, a lot of people do shave their nuts, so you could be dealing with a 50-year-old man, shaved nuts, but I'm just saying, like, if you didn't see the 50-year-old man's face and just saw the nuts, and you were presented with a hairy nut right next to it, you'd probably be like, okay, hairy nuts, longevity in the credit building game, if you will. So yeah, that's what I'm rocking right now, full bush. And I was a little, I'm not gonna lie, one of the major reasons for me shaving through the years, I guess it's been like, you know, you like to see as much of the equipment as possible, and especially when you're presenting. When you're presenting, you like to be like, especially if you're not working with much, other than the regular old peen that you've been gifted, and yeah, sometimes 6 inches not fully, not fully erect can be deceiving. It's like, oh, what are you working with? So, it's and there's music in the background, so I hope that this does not impact the video whatsoever, because I don't want the music to be in the video right now. But there's somebody parked on the streets and they got music on, but if it gets recorded, let's just ignore the music. There's no music here. It's just you, me, and a good time. Boys and girls, ladies and gents, what were we even talking about? Hairy nuts, that's right. Gotta catch my breath a little. I'm a little bit excited. I'm still a little bit cheesed about that double pay for the parking, but nonetheless, man. And other benefits of hairy nuts. Let's say, I know this works for the ladies. I've made this argument for the ladies that if you're, eating her out and she's got the hairy monkey, you're gonna be flossing a little bit simultaneously. And this works vice versa for the fellas too. If you're rocking that bush, your lady gets to floss a little bit, which is, in this day and age, who can afford dentistry or flossing? So it's like a 2-in-1, which is great. So every time you give head, lady, you're taking care of them pearly whites, which is incredible. Thank your mans. And thank this guy for fighting a good fight, really. Find a good fight. What are the other benefits of hairy nuts? I would say that, if you were, let's say you're the type that likes to feel alive. If you've shaved your nuts, there's a lesser chance of you getting a hair strand caught up in your pantaloon's zipper. And every time it gets caught up in the pantaloon zipper, you'd feel a little bit of, oh my God, this hurts. My nuts hurt. No. And if you've shaved, you would never feel that, and you wouldn't feel alive. So you're feeling less alive with a pair of shaved nuts. So if you want to feel alive and litty, essentially, stop shaving them nuts, is what I'm trying to say. God. It is going to be a hard sell, not going to lie to you. I think shaved nuts have been the thing since probably the late 80s, early 90s, and we've been dealing with this epidemic for at least 3 decades now. It's the propaganda of Big Razor, man. Again, until Big Razor decides to sponsor your boy. Anyone, really. Schick, Bic, Gillette, fucking one of those electrical shavers. Who knows? What? Maybe you're a new company. You're like, man, I want a guy who's got hairy nuts. I'm your dude right now, man. Hanging low, hanging fluffy. Also, it'd be great if you're like, let's say you're about to get into a fight and you're fighting in the nude, because that's how real men's fight. That's right, in the nude. If you have shaved nuts, your opponent can easily distinguish where your nuts are hanging. They can be like, oh, I see clearly where it starts, where the nutsack starts, and when it stops. But let's say you're working with an inch of hair. It's kind of like a beard for your nuts. So if they were to go like punch or elbow or try to put your nuts in a triangle, they might miss and just grab a little bit of hair. And knowing, yes, but nuts intact. So essentially, hair to nuts is beard as is to a face. You'd like a little bit more protection, wouldn't you? Thought so. You're welcome. Raising awareness, saving lives in street fights, in parking garage fights, in MMA jiu-jitsu fights, in fights where it's sanctioned, in non-sanctioned fights, but most importantly, for fights in the nude. And that's how real men's and women's fights. Hi there. Good morning. How are you guys? Do you want to be in a video? You don't have time, eh? All right, that's fair enough. I'll catch you around later. All right. People are going on their dates. They're doing things, but they looky, make the eye contact. I'm like, what? Wouldn't it be nice to get a couple's opinion of what they think, whether or not to go with hairy nuts or not? It would be. Well, that young couple was probably out for brunch. They're probably banging earlier on. Time to go rejuvenate. Good on them. Keep eating those eggs and bacons. And that's how babies are made, with eggs and bacons. Ladies and gents. Boys and girls, we will come back to hairy nuts, of course. But... Hi there. Good morning. Do you guys have a few minutes to be in a little video?
Absolutely not.
All right. Cool. Absolutely not. Which means they're into it. But they don't want to admit it. That's the vibe that I got. Absolutely not means maybe. Later. That's what I read. So you got to read it between the lines, man. Absolutely not could mean absolutely not right now, but we'll be back. Absolutely not right now, but like who knows what holds in the future. Absolutely not, but let me check my calendar. In that instance, I think if we were to deduce, I think we could go with a solid no. Does rejection hurt? Does putting yourself out there hurt? Taking your heart and just, oh, here's my heart. Take a bit of it and let's discuss hairy nuts. And then people are like, absolutely not. No, it doesn't hurt. It actually doesn't. You'd be surprised as to how little it hurts. Literally, not even a smidge of hurt. Like it feels pretty good, actually. Not gonna lie to you, because you get a couple of no's. Then the yeses start rolling in, and isn't that life? Isn't that just life? Couple of no's, followed by a gushing flow of oozing yeses. I was out on the streets the other day, ladies and gentlemen, trying to take a leak at a public bathroom. I got a little qualm that I like to squash right here. If we can just take a minute, man to people, people to man. People from the streets, people from the internets, if we can all just come together for a minute. If we could just come together for a minute and raise a little bit of awareness in terms of public bathroom etiquette and public bathroom usage. If you're in a lineup of a public bathroom, it's like 2 or 3 people ahead of you, I think we should go about using gang signs as to infer what we're in store for. Like if you got number 2s, just stand in line, just be like, you don't even need to communicate verbally, but just be like, I'm going in there and I'm taking a deuce. Just put it up so that I know how long I gotta wait. And also if you're like just going number 1, you know what I mean, just put it up. And that way there should also be, and this system this system will only work, it's based on the trust system, the classic honor system. If somebody's in front of you and they got to go number 2s and you've got to go number 1s, I think we should have the common courtesy of letting the person behind us who is holding a number 1 go in front of us, because dropping deuces takes, man, minimum 5 minutes, but you're looking at a standard 10 to 15 minutes at times for some folks out there. So if I gotta just go in there for like 30 seconds, 45 seconds, a minute tops with the washing of the hands, if we're washing the hands, you know, let me go ahead of you and I'll do the same. But this only works based on pure trust, pure belief in the human ability to look at one's brethren and sistren and be like, man, this lady's not gonna go in there and insert her tampon. This lady's not gonna be dealing with blood clots right now. This lady's badge isn't about to just explode in the sink. Or this fella's not gonna have explosive diarrhea even though he's shown me number 1. It purely works based on trust and reciprocation. You trust me and I trust you, and this system will only work if that trust is kept. So ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to propose to us from now on, if we're in a public bathroom area and there's people in lineups, stand with either this or this. And again, if the person in front of you holding this and you're there with this, you don't even need to talk. Just do a little switcheroo. switcheroo. And that way we all save more time and I don't have to wait there standing 10-15 minutes until you get out of the bathroom. And then the second little issue that I like to raise, most people are nice. Canadians specifically, we are, Torontonians specifically, are some of the nicest folks out in the universe. Multicultural, multifaceted, diverse in all the you know, realms of diversity. Considerate, some might say. Too nice at times with the thank yous and the, but could you even be too nice? Some say yes, maybe you could, but here's the thing, here's what's not nice, my fellow brethren and sistren out there. If you're the type that goes out there and shits in a public bathroom but decides to shit not on the designated shitting area, which is the actual bowl, but you prefer to shit on the seat outside of the bowl, let me know ahead of time. Let me know ahead of time. Do one of these and I will gladly walk away. I don't need to wait 15 minutes and then go in there and see that you've slid in the shits. You didn't, there's the whole entire bowl, but you decide to slide in your shit right from the seat into the bowl, and it's just, and now I waited 15 minutes. So if I walk out now, I look like a chump, and that's not gonna fly. So the smell is horrendous. It's chemical gases, it's chemical warfare at this point. This is, I feel beguiled. I wanted to use that word, beguiled. It's not really working right now, but I wanted to use it. The point is, you schemed and you scammed. You waited, and then you made me wait, and then you slid in the shits instead of just doing it like a normal human would. Just, if you're gonna do that, just be like, this one's gonna be no bueno, dude. You don't want to be in here. What motivates a man to do that? What kind of day have you had? What kind of life have you had that you've not learned by now? That you're in your 40s, 50s most likely, sir. And you're like, maybe it was the person before them. I doubt it, homie. I doubt it, because they went in there and they took 15 minutes. And if you're in there 15 minutes and the seat's already smeared in shit, that would mean that you stepped in there, saw the seat with the shit, but then you decide to stay in there and take a shit on top of that, which is another, like, if I see shit on this, I'm not taking, even if I'll swallow it, dude. I'll suck it up somehow. Jesus Christ, dude. Ladies and gentlemen, just those two little issues that I wanted to bring up in terms of public bathroom etiquette. But other than that, I'm feeling good. I know you guys are feeling good. It's Saturday. It's wild outside. The vibes are, you know, hovering between absolutely not to maybe yes. What else do I want to talk to you guys and gals about today? It is, it's hard for a pimp out there. It's hard to be pimping, but nonetheless, please don't give up on your dreams. Please don't let anybody tell you that you can't, because yes, we can. And yes, we did. It takes organization, it takes effort, it takes the willingness to go out there and be pimping. How do I pimps? You know, I'm more so, I've done theory. When it comes to practicality, I've not put it into practice, but a man can also go into practice mode like that. I would say that I provide a different kind of service, if anything. Like, there's probably other cats out there pimping. No, we're pimping. But I'd say that I provide a service where hoes and bitches fucking, you know, treated right, dude. Treated right, with respect. For one, I would not overwork them. I would not overwork them. It would just be like, take however much time you need to, like, rest in between, because you don't want that to be, you don't want it to be too much. You don't want it to be exhausting so that they're not loving their job. You don't want it to be like, oh man, usually I love dancing, I love going out as an escort, and I love, you know, getting paid to rub my puss on an old gentleman's face. But this is starting to feel like work. And I would never want that. Not in this establishment, not in this brothel. In my brothel, every woman is treated like a queen. Every bitch is a down bitch. There's not just one. Every bitch is a down bitch. That's how I would differentiate my pimping game. It's because if you have one down bitch, then that's how most of them fail. I reckon that's how most of them fail. If you have one, then there's gonna be like jealousy. Then there's gonna be infighting. Then there's gonna be like, oh man, what do I need to do to get on good terms with my mans so that I could be down bitch number one? And to that I say, yo, this is a round table. In this establishment, in this brothel house, we're all pimps, hoes, and bitches, and we're all sitting and having din-din together, equally slicing the wine bottle amongst us, as wine bottles are sliced. So yeah, and you would not, this is not the type of brothel that you'd find any sort of like smells or anything. This is a high-end brothel, ladies and gentlemen. This is not some sort of like, you know, middle of nowhere establishment where you'd walk in and the ladies are overworked and it's reeking of fish and all sorts of, you know, seafood, and there's questionable characters, non-questionable characters only at this establishment, and that's how I keep everybody safe. You're like, do you use any force? Never. Never. Unless I gotta go like deal with competition, not on my own, but like when it comes to competition, if I need to lay it down, I lays it down. How? Using the great technique of the old backhand, sometimes the front hand, but that's just for competition only, not for the workers, because I respect them. Hi there, ladies. How you doing? Do you want to be in a video discussing random topics and whatnot? Seems like you got a lot of time. Yes.
We're trying to get to the hippie market.
Come here, we can have a chat and we can find the hippie market together.
Yeah?
Yeah, and we can have
Maybe we'll meet you there.
What's that?
Maybe we'll meet you there.
The hippie market. I will remember that.
We need a shot. See you there.
I'll see you there instead. See? To absolutely not, to maybes, to the hippie market. Yo, they would have probably most likely have been down for the bush, dude. Think about it, hippie market? These are bush ladies. I think after this video, I might just drop in and have a real life discussion about whether these ladies likes the bush. Or no, I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say a hard yes, dude. They're going to the hippie market. Come on, son. There's Bush City in here. The movement is strong. Big Razor has taken an L until Big Razor takes initiative and decides to go out there and recruit new talent. That is not overwhelmingly hairy, but nonetheless hairy enough to be a poster man. No longer a poster boy, but once a boy, now a man's. All right, hippie market, remember that. Deuces, and that's how it starts, dude. You don't know, this is how this shit spreads. Like wildfire created by man. So to perpetuate global warming. It's the forestry, dude. It's crazy, I learned that recently. People in charge of forests start forest fires to fight forest fires with fire. Crazy. But let us not get distracted. And that's what it is, man. As a pimp, it's so many things you gotta just be tackling each and every day. Like bitches be coming at you, be like, oh, I need a new dress. I need a new silk dress. I need a new silk dress for this bush to be showing through my silk dress. And I'll be like, I got you, baby. Money's not an object. You know, fucking money guns. That's my money. That's my money gun sound. And I just splurge, dude. Silk dresses for all them ladies up in there. I gotta find a name for this joint, but nonetheless, it feels good to be providing a service. It feels good to be of assistance. It feels good to be there for your ladies. Sometimes I gotta just step aside and look at it from the outside and be like, man, this is surreal. But then I pinch myself on the tush and I'm like, nah, it's for realsies. It's for realsies. But yeah, man, if there's any competition out there and I need to go like take out a couple of other pimps, dude, I'd be like, yo, men's, let's take out these pinky rings for a second and let's have a discussion, mans to mans. Mans who wears pinky rings with long pinky fingernails. Let's have that sort of conversation. I'd be like, let's either join forces or start to back up off of it. I'll say that. Back up off of it like that. And they'll be like, oh, player, no. Let us join forces. Let us join forces and capitalize. I'd be like, too bad, bitch. Or too bitch. I'll say that just to throw them off. Be like, too bitch, too bad. I'd be all like, yeah, fucking back off of this turf, you know, it's our turf. And I pimp slap all of them. Fucking pimp slap, bitch. Right there, dude. And that's how competition starts to drop, one after another. And soon the entire block is run by none other than this guy. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, what else is going on? There is, I've been having a thought. I think we should heavily consider the fact that we are missing out on the use of tranquilizer dart guns. I think really we should take the opportunity to just set aside at least one day, every month, where willing participants would get out of the house and those who don't want to participate, stay in one day of the month. And come out with tranquilizer dart guns and be like, you know what? I love to put, you know, yeah, my job is great, but it's like last Friday of the month, Jerry, and I know you're my boss and everything, but at the end of the day, homie, this new stack of paperwork is gonna be a bummer on this weekend. Dart gun right there, dude. Jerry's out. Next thing you know, 72 hours has gone by. You return to the office and Jerry's game, because Jerry he showed up, dude. If Jerry didn't want to show up, Jerry knew what was up last Friday every month. Tranquilizer dart gun day, baby. So Jerry comes back on Monday. He's like, oh man, Tim, you got me, dude. But now here's the new pile of work, the new stack of papers. And that'd be fun. Or let's say you're a teacher. Let's say you're a teacher and you've been passionate about working with children. You get, oh, your blood just starts to boil, and not too much to use. You don't want to fucking die, but you're like, man, I can't wait to like form these minds of the future, mold them into leaders of the future. But once every month, there are a few of your rugrats that you just like to be like, yo, I have the license to tranquilize. Tranquilizer dart gun day, baby. Right there. Little Jimmy's out. Little Jimmy out 72 hours. Why? Because he showed up. We sent a letter. The parents know. Jimmy knows. Why'd you show up if you didn't want the tranquilizer dart gun to your neck, Jimmy? That's all I gotta say, man. That's all I gotta say. You know what I mean? Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's going on in the news? Hey, mijo. Is Jose here? I the Mexican alien, man. Yeah, man. Man, there's these... I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but I'm fighting the elements, dude. There's bees out here, man. Legit bees, dude. Orale ese. I'm the Mexican alien, man. For reals, homie. Mexico recently just came out with news of Mexican aliens. Mexican aliens who play in a mariachi band. It's a mariachi band that is of Mexican descent. It's the realest alien specimen that I've seen. If anything confirms our belief in the UFOs, it's this goddamn specimen right here. I'm gonna just briefly move the camera a little bit here to the shade because the heat of the sun impacts the juices of the oil batteries, and we don't want to run into any problemos like we did last time. We're gonna keep it right around the 50-minute mark, boys and girls. Don't you worry your little pretty face, your little pretty head right there. I got you. We're still in the sun. Let's move it right here then. Right here. Oh, a little bit of that shade. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. I like the fact that we're discussing potential life outside of this Earth, outside of our universe potentially, because in the grand scheme of things, looking at how vast everything is, I'd like to believe that there is some sort of life out there. I like the fact that there has been obviously reduced stigma about the topic, but this one really sold me, man. I mean, this fucking confirms it. And you're like, that's paper mache, dude. And I say, no, sir. You're like, that's concrete. You're like, ladies, before you put money in that one doesn't print. It doesn't print. It ate my money, so I'm just use that one down there. You got it. Not all heroes wear capes, ladies. You're welcome. I know, it's fucking, I just saved people some headache. Because they never did. What were we even talking about? Yes, aliens. I like to believe that they are real. I like to believe that they do exist. But that one was just... that was a good one, dude. I like that one. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, times are curious. It's good to ask questions. Is there life outside of our universe? Most likely, yes. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Of course, you're like, no, you're a scientist. Just believe in yourself. You are a scientist. All right, fine. Fuck it. I'm a scientist. God damn. You guys, when pushed into a corner, the science in me does come out. I can't help it. But that's just facts. I did have a conversation with the optometrist recently, not because I had the funds to go visit an optometrist. Eye doctor, I hope I'm saying that right. Optometrist assists. And we got to talking, and she low-key called me a doctor, which felt good. I'm like, you are too kind. Her words though, not mine. But then again, after she said that, we just two doctors basically sat down and had a conversation. But this doctor was a real doctor, not a fugazi one. Here in the Zydia, Toronto. An eye doctor who does surgery when you have the fucking eye issues. She knew 7 languages, played multiple instruments, and did cataract surgery on your eye. Like, I mean, like, at one point, like, you know, quit learning, lady, quit learning, okay? The rest of us are out here trying. You're 7 languages, and you're out here, like, playing multiple instruments, doing cataract surgery, and God, some people are just like, Dems the aliens. Dems the aliens. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Master negotiator here. When times get rough, when we're pushed to a corner, when we need to negotiate with terrorists, I say we don't negotiate with terrorists. Period. End of statement. Done. But when we need to negotiate with terrorists, sometimes they call me in. You're like, who calls you? Don't worry about who calls me. Then somebody calls me and don't worry about it. All the questions and shit. And I first say, what's the situation at hand? What are we dealing with here? And they're like, this is a classic prisoner exchange scenario. Robbie boy, what are we gonna do? I'm like, how many prisoners we talking? Because I need to know who. I need to know when. I need to know where. I need to know how. I need to know why. And then they come back with the answers. Why? Because they're terrorists. Who? those guys. Why? Because they're terrorists, dude. How? Somebody's gotta be it, and them's it. When? Since the dawn of man. Non-ambiguous answers to non-ambiguous questions. All day, every day. And once I get those questions answered, then I'm like, let me go to work. How many prisoners are we working with? And they start counting using fingers. They're like, one. And then somebody's like, no, it's more than one. I'm like, how many prisoners do we work with here today? They're like, two. They're like, oh, it's more than two. I'm like, you guys are so lucky because I work with more than 2 hostages at a time. They're like, it's about 5. I'm like, good. Because I don't even wake up in the morning. Dude, you call me with one prisoner swap for one prisoner swap? I'm like, come back at least when you got to use a full hand, come to me then and we'll discuss prisoner swap situations. But if you come at me and we're like, we're missing one, they're missing one, I'm like, is anyone even missing, dude? What's one? What is even one person? We've got so many people. At least 5. That's my rate. I don't work with anything less than 5, dude. So they called me in. They're like, what's the best case scenario? What's the worst case scenario? I'm like, best case scenario, we hang up. We hang up the phone, dude. When the terrorists call, we hang up the phone because we don't negotiate with terrorists. Hang up. And I hangs up, dude. So we did that a couple of times. And then they got the message that this organization is not into chit-chatting it up with terrorists and the like. So I hung up a few times. Then the emails start pouring in, dude. Classic email pouring in. I could hear the keyboard sound. And these lames are not going with like keyless keyboards. They're still on like old school keyboards. So I heard it because we got bugs in them rooms, dude. I heard the emails before the emails were even sent. And they're like, we want to negotiate. I'm like, hang up the computer. We don't negotiate with terrorists. Click, the computer's hung up. And that's when they start to know that we're playing ball, homie. Now because you want to go play local, mate. You want to start dancing, mate. You want to do the cha-cha. You want to do the lambada. You want to ice skate a little bit. We'll ice skate a little bit. We the North, baby. We ice skate just for shits and giggles. You think we're not used to ice skating, dude? What you know about them hockey rinks in the summertime? Ice skate around your ass, dude. Figure 8. Bitch ass. I said all that, and as I was saying all that, I'm like, somebody take note of this. I want all of this verbatim, not noted and like sent in a letter, via email, via fax, via pigeons. Because them old school terrorists, dude, you gotta go all the fucking, they don't got internet, so you gotta go fucking pigeon. And we did. It was a long battle back and forth, and we're like, give us our people back, and they're like, no, you give us our people back. And we're like, what are you people doing here? And they're like, what are your people doing here? And we're like, enough already, give us our people back. And then they're like, fine, you give us our people back. And then that's when I came up with the revolutionary idea of how to tackle terrorism. Most of the time people think that it's good to sanction a terrorist organization or a country that is a terrorist as a whole, sanction them, make sure that they can't really, partake in international business, really try to suffocate them fiscally suffocate them. Oh my God, I can't breathe fiscally, I'm suffocating. You'd want, that's the ideal emotion that you're trying to get out of them. So that's traditional counterterrorism, or no wait, forward terrorism. It doesn't matter. Forward, backward, counterclockwise terrorism. That's how we do it, and that's how we keep it tight. You don't know which direction we're going in. Clockwise, counterclockwise, don't matter, baby. We works with the hands of this clock are hands of this clock, because before it used to be feet. on a clock, but then I changed that game to, and I'm like, yo, what? Forget feet's on a clock, dude. We need hands on this clock, dude. Let's go. And I changed it up. But yeah, traditionally you'd be like, let's fiscally like suffocate them, and then soon, once the regime is suffocating fiscally, the people will be like, oh, look at these tits, man. Free tits. There's a correlation there. Fiscally suffocate, free tits. Fiscally suffocate, free. There's a correlation, dude. Let's connect the dots. All right. But every once in a while, if that shit's not working, you gotta go reverse psychology, man. You're like, all right, you give us our 5 terrorists. No, wait, you give us our 5 peoples. I think they're just regular people. You give us our people, and then we'll give you your people. You terrorist scumbag sons of bitches. You do that. And then on top of that, just to fuck with their heads, we're like, here. I said that. I'm like, here, take this $6 billion. Mind's blown, dude. Turbines are fucking spinning in midair right now. They're like, what the fuck is going on here? Confuse them. And that's the art of confusion. Always keep the terrorists on their toes by giving them lots of money. You're like, are they dancing because we gave them a lot? Are they on their toes dancing because we gave them $6 billion? And I'm like, there was some thought behind it. You know, this was a first. And honestly, sometimes we give out accidental $6 billion worth of funds to countries who we've already give billions of dollars to. But sometimes on purpose, we give $6 billion worth of assets to terrorist countries, organizations as a whole, just to be like, well, if we get rid of them, who's gonna be the terrorists? God damn, if we get rid of the terrorism, then who's gonna be the terrorists, you guys? We gotta keep them funded. So that's how I changed the game. That's how I revolutionized hostage prisoners. Oh, guys, don't put money in there. It's not printing. Go to that one down there. Oh, you got it? Oh man, it ain't my money. Well, I'm happy you got yours though. Have a good day. My pleasure. You can't save everyone. But what the fuck, dude? God. Jesus. This machine, man. Number 3215 at Queen and Spadina. I want my $12 back. You sons of bitches. Somebody fix that shit right there. Why didn't it print my... It said authorized. I want that reimbursed to my prisoner swap account. Prisoner swap negotiator account. Immediately. $12. With inflation and everything and the fucking rents and food prices, I want my fucking $12 back, dude. $24, dude, for 3 hours? That's a fucking pain in the nuts right there. Point is, ladies and gentlemen, that after I revolutionized the prisoner swap negotiating tactics, I said to myself, I'm gonna go and take lunch because I think I deserved it. And you're like, what did that solve? I'm like, we spent money, didn't we? We spent good money. Lessons, moral of the story is, if you go to nations who are terrorist nations, you will most likely be imprisoned, which will then be used as a leverage to get money or locked up frozen money from our beautiful, hardworking men and women who are us, who's us. You're getting money from us, so you're costing us money. So you're like, man, I wonder where I could go. There's roughly 200 plus countries in the world. Probably, you know, more of them are, you know, more countries are decent places to visit, but like, there's probably like maybe, to be on the safe side, let's say there's probably some questionable countries out there, not gonna lie to you guys, you know who you are out there, but there's probably like, to be on the safe side, there's probably like 5 that you should probably like be like, you know what, straight up terrorisms, dude. Straight up turban terrorisms right there. I'm not gonna visit, cause you know what, the fucking tzatziki and the fucking hummus is not just, it's just not worth it. I can see a camel at the fucking local zoo and I can eat all the hummus literally anywhere that I want. If I need to see a fucking flying carpet, I'll take some fucking shrooms or LSD like a normal human would, and just you know, cut everybody the fucking, you know, it's because I gotta get up in the middle of the night. I'm trying to like bang out I'm trying to give my wife, I'm trying to put it in her mouth, dude, because she asked for it. She's like, baby, I want to swallow and gurgle. I'm like, baby, let's do it. And she was about to, dude, and I get this fucking phone call in the middle of the night, or like, calm down, we got a prisoner swap situation, we need you to negotiate. I'm like, hottie, keep going. I finished, dude, I finished, but that's aside the point. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. Ladies and gentlemen, where can you find these videos? Right now, every week. Subscribe on YouTube so to help yourself fight terrorism. Follow me on Instagram if you like. Fiscally, if you like to support this show, that's financially if you like to support it. Check out patreon.com/RobSadri. And again, it drops every week right now on the weekends. Have yourselves a lovely weekend out there. I love you all. Take good care of yourselves and fucking rock and roll, baby. I'll see you guys back here again next week. Peace out.